Hello everybody, welcome back to another r/Pokemon Reddit discussion. Well, not really, I wouldn't say call it a Reddit discussion, I just wanted to make this. So, here's the thing, right? Normally I would not make this, however, this has a lot of comments, and I kind of want to share them, because this is actually pretty good. I actually am surprised how interesting things to get here. So, yeah, so this user wanted to, rate, Pokemon hot takes. But let's just say, look at the number of comments there. Yeah, there's a lot of hot takes in there. It's actually pretty insane. So, before we start, I want to show you my hot take. Now, this is not something that is new. I mean, I've already, said this many times. That my hot take is that DP are the worst mainline games. And apparently, there are so many people that agree on it. Now, okay, so let's just start with my particular hot take. So, yeah, the first comment you see here is, oh, that word goes to their remakes. Bruh, like, the remake of DP wouldn't be that bad if the game they were making is garbage. So, it's DP's fault that BDSP is garbage. Like, I do consider BDSP quite a bit of an upgrade from DP, because I'll show you later. But, BDSP has quite a bit of improvements over DP. Now, granted, there are some things that are worse. I do agree there are some things that are worse in BDSP than DP, but there are a lot more things that are better. But I'll get to that when I get to that. This next one's talking about Red kind of being Judy or Ponyta or Bidoof or Starly or Staravia, like so many of the same Pokemon being like there are maybe Kricketune at times. Not a lot of variety, but we'll get to that. The reason why BDS exists is because Legends Arceus was supposed to be the DP remake. However, they decided to go a different direction than what they wanted to do for a DP remake. So they decided, you know what? And Legends Arceus is gonna take a while. We're probably not gonna release it in time, so we're gonna need some like something else to do in the meantime. How about let's get the Pokemon home devs to make a DP remake? That's a quote unquote faithful remake, even though it's not. But yeah. So, this is actually, kind of deleted by the user. This is actually OP asking what, like, oh, it's a pretty hot take. Why is that? I'm surprised that OP actually deleted this comment. I kind of don't get why, to be honest. So, I'll get to the actual comments. So, let's talk about this user for a bit. Oh, the game's running fast as Shuckle holding an iron ball. Lol. Let's see, map design is annoying. Yep. It forces you. Oh yeah, and the team forces you to have like so many HMs. Yeah, actually forgot to mention that in my particular reason why I DP, that the HM usage. But yeah, also how to put them like gym leaders. They're quite forgettable. Fine. If you want that opinion, that's acceptable. I mean, I personally like Byron because of the anime, but that's because of the anime, really. But yeah, this long post is most of the reason why I don't like Diamond and Pearl. So, you can pause right here and read all of that. But, long story short, Platinum did fix quite a lot of Diamond and Pearl. However, the main reason why I don't like Diamond and Pearl is because of Sinnoh, the region itself. How it forces you to, like, backtrack. The routes are very narrow. And, like, very narrow angle. Well, angular because, it's a DS game, sure. And, like, I didn't mention this, but also, like, the most amount of HMs needed to actually get anywhere. Like, Mount Coronet, like, in general, like, high encounter rate, and, like, needs more, like, probably as many, like, HM, like, slots as you would need, like, an HM mule for. Like, you need to dedicate 1 or 2 spots on your team just to use the HMs. It's really, like, it's absolutely bonkers. It's really unnecessary. See, this is one thing I like about BDSP is that you don't have to worry about HMs in the game because they actually do it. The game will actually do it for you. So therefore, you can free up your team to actually put a Vespiquen in there. instead of having to stick with Staraptor all the time. I don't know about you, but I am not a big fan of the meme of oh, hey, here's your team. You gotta pick your starter. You gotta pick Luxray. You gotta pick Staraptor. You gotta pick like if you're not using a Polygon, gotta use Floatzel. If you're not using Infernape, you might want to go for Rapidash, even though nobody picks Rapidash anyway. I mean, I did once. Maybe go for Garchomp, even though it's kind of out of the way to do so. And you gotta pick Lucario, even though you get it pretty late in the game. Yeah, that's that sort of thing. Like, you don't even bother getting some of the more popular Gen 4 Pokemon. Lopunny. Like, he's not even used very well in Gen 4. But because memes. But anyway, yeah. But that's not why we're here. This is not why we're doing that. I'm not going to make dedicated entire video to dunk on Diamond and Pearl. I do that on a regular basis. Nah. We're going to see what everyone else says. What is, like, the general, like, I won't say a general opinion, like, about hot takes in general. But let's make this fun. Instead of sorting by new, let's sort by controversial. Like, the actual controversial hot takes. Let's see what happens. So, here we go. Gen 3 is getting Kanto Love's overrated. Really? But then again, Kanto is part of Gen 3, so there's no such thing as Kanto being overrated. Yeah, Kanto's not. No, it's less that Kanto itself is overrated, but more rather the Gen 1 Pokemon's overrated. Like, you don't really see the Kanto gym leaders that often. As much as I like to see not Cynthia, as much as I like to see Sabrina, like, every now and then. Like, the gym leaders themselves aren't too used that much. It's mostly the anime uses them a lot. But not the games themselves. Like, you don't usually see the champion in you don't really see, like, either. We do see Red and Blue, like, on Sun and Moon, but that's just at one time. But it's really more like the Kanto Pokemon that some might say overrated. And Hoenn, I don't think it's that overrated. I think I like Hoenn's the region. I like Hoenn Pokemon, but like I don't think they're overrated. Honestly, Gen 4 is overrated, but whatever. Every Kanto game sucks butt, but the region's treated like it was the second coming of Christ. Nah, that's a hot take. That is a hot take. Like, I can believe you saying that every Kanto game is terrible. I'm okay with that. Like, that is not a bad take. Heck, some would say that the Johto games are terrible, and I can believe it. Like, my favorite region is Johto. I would and will play Johto games no matter what, because that's why I have like Heart Gold, Silver, and Crystal as like top Pokemon games, and like Gold and Silver not far behind. Like, I would play a Gen 2 game all day, but I could believe if people say that it is not that good. But let's see here. Pokemon should make some of the main characters LGBT+. There's a bunch of subtext Scarlet and Violet. Now, I get why they don't, because Pokemon's trying to appeal to different audiences, including places where that is not acceptable. And of course, there are some people in places where they are acceptable that do not accept it. Like, I kind of get why you do it, but it's mainly not due to the fault of the developers. It's more like due to the fault of some laws around the world where Pokemon is trying to appeal to. But yeah, this. But the thing is, like, not trying to make it explicit because they're trying to appeal to different places. I think there was a one time early on they wanted to appeal to Russia, who also like has this like banned. But I don't think people care anymore. I don't think Japanese developers care anymore for reasons. Gen 5 is considered the best by many people who started with Gen 5. I started with Gen 1, I think Gen 5 is the best. Well, rather, Black and White are the best. Black and White 2 are really good, but I don't think not as good as, Black and White 2, to be honest. They're the modern-day Gen 1ers. Honestly, I think it's less Gen 5, Gen 6 is like this now. Because I've seen a lot of posts on r/Pokemon and some of the other Pokemon-related subreddits that Gen 6 is starting to become like this. And Gen 5 is like this. Gen 5 started like this in Gen 8. That's the battle facility? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a big fan of Battle Facilities. I think they're like kind of unnecessary filler. Granted, there's some Battle Facilities characters that I do like the designs of, like Dahlia, but they're just filler for competitive, to be honest. Like, if you want to like, go post game, go play online. Like for Battle Facilities, they whatever, and they and like for stuff like gives out alternative currency like BP. Honestly, for some games, it's kind of grating. It's really annoying to deal with. I think the last time I cared about no Battle Facility was in Oraz. Because it was right. The Battle Tower is in Ruby and Sapphire. Why is it not in its remake? That's what I'm saying. Like, why is it the stuff that's in the original game not in the remake? Compared to Gen 1, it's just a good game. Keyword good, not perfect or whatever. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Gen 5 Black and White are really good games. Like, are they perfect? No. They're so... Like, no Pokemon game is perfect. A good game's a good game, and Black and White and Black and White 2 are good games. Absolute mess serves the game, held by duct tape. Honestly, like, you didn't need to be held by duct tape, because the duct tape can be easily peeled off and it'd still be kind of interesting. One thing I like about Gen 1 nowadays is because of the glitches and how crazy, like, the absolute nonsense you can do with it. And I just find, like absolute nonsense, if you just take off the duct tape and just watch the craziness that what happens. Like, that's the part of the fun thing about Gen 1 specifically. Gen 4 is the last good generation of starters. Honestly, I think Gen 7 has some good base form starters. Kind of missed the point here. It's like, for me, the Gen 7 starters are a continuation of Gen 6 starters, where Lint and Cineroid is the Monk class, the Archer class from Rowlet to the Decidueye, and then the Bard class from Popular Primarina. Or the Bard, even, like, I wouldn't say White Mage. I used to think that Primarina would be like a healer, like more heal-oriented, but it's more like, a Bard. Gen 8 be more British things. And then Gen 9 be more like the Spanish and Portuguese colonies. Speaking of that, we need a China region. Okay, like, I know, like, China in general is a little controversial. But, like, I kind of want to see a China region soon, to be honest. We have a France region. Like, Pokemon start in Japan. Why not have a China region? I feel like having a China region would be, like, very interesting lore and design-wise. I do want to see a Johto game with Let's Go style. Not the Let's Go battle style. Not the actual stuff you throw a Pokeball and then you get a catch like Pokemon Go does. To be honest, I think it's kind of lame. But I like the design, the martial art style of Let's Go should be it. But I think only for Johto, I don't think Hoenn is a good idea to have that style. To be honest. Okay, now here we go. The reason why I want to make this post is the reason why I want to make this video. Because this user has a lot of really bad and hot takes. Like, some of these are base takes, some of these are bad takes. Well, personally bad takes. But a lot of them are very, very spicy. So let's go one by one. Gen 4 is total garbage. Wasn't that followed by up with HS our mediocre remakes? First of all, this is a bad take, and this is a good take. Like, I actually do hate Generation 4, but this is a bad take. I mean, yes, Heart Gold Soul Silver and Black and White are considered the best Pokemon games of all time. And, like, some people will agree on that. But, I don't think that's a bad remake. Honestly, like, Heart Gold Soul Silver does better with the bottom screen than, every other DS Pokemon game. Because actually, they use the bottom screen for stuff. I don't care about the anime. Normal take. That's not a hot take. That's a normal take. Cynthia's a mediocre champion. Now, that depends on what you think of Cynthia in general. Like, do you, by mediocre champion, does this user think that it's a mediocre design, or that the battle itself is bad? The music is bad? Like, what about her, her personality? What define mediocre in this context? Because some would say that Cynthia's design is the best design character in the entire franchise. I disagree with that. Ends better. Yeah, some people waifu Cynthia like it's no tomorrow. I don't pretty care. I'm more of a big sister type. Her battle is one of the most difficult in the entire franchise. I would know that. That has happened to me. Her thing being mythology. I mean, the whole, Sinnoh, Diamond and Pearl as a whole is more mythologies in general, considering how many, godlike Pokemon there are, like especially legendary, how godlike they are, and they have the god of all Pokemon in there. So the myth kind of makes sense for this character. There are more mediocre champions than her. There are just more terrible champions than her. Lyra's the worst protagonist. Yeah. There was no reason. Okay, honestly, yeah, there was no reason to replace Chris with Lyra. To be honest, Chris is a really good design. I don't know why they replace it. Like, she's not even a rival. She's just kind of there. And same thing if you pick Lyra, and Ethan is the side character. But, like, they don't really, like, Lyra's just kind of there. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of the design of Lyra because they took away Chris. But, yeah. I'm glad Mega Evolution is gone. I mean, it's a hot take, yeah, but I don't particularly care about Mega Evolution anymore. That's mostly because, like, you know how in like other battle gimmicks that, oh, this should be banned because it makes strong Pokemon stronger. But honestly, like, for Mega Evolution, they put it on stronger Pokemon on purpose. Like, for the others, at least they put it on any Pokemon can use it, even the weaker Pokemon can use it, so the strong can use it to become stronger. It's like more like a consequence of having the weaker Pokemon also use it. But for Mega Evolution, they specifically chose some strong Pokemon to use it. So, yeah, Mega Evolution is, like, for some Pokemon, it makes weaker Pokemon really, really strong. It made Mawile broken, it made Kangaskhan broken. But, like, and it made some really strong Pokemon stronger. It definitely made Salamence, like, really good. It made some Pokemon weaker somehow. It made Garchomp weaker, which I find that kind of funny. And also made just kind of average Pokemon even more average. And, like, actually weak Pokemon actually somewhat doable. Like, think of, like, Houndoom's, like, slightly doable. Make Pinsir slightly doable. But honestly, Pinsir should have been a bug fighting type as a Mega Set flying, to be honest. I know Pinsir was kind of a Stag Beetle, but still. It made more sense. Let's see, all the Paradox Pokemon are lazy Dex filler. Yeah, I can believe that. Garchomp and Luxray are my least favorite Pokemon. I mean, that's an opinion. I can't actually say no to that. I can't say it's a bad take or a hot take. I mean, it's the least favorite Pokemon. It's the least favorite Pokemon. I can't actually influence that. Like, for Garchomp, I can believe that you don't like it because... Oh, you know what? Maybe you don't like Garchomp because of Cynthia. Like, if you don't like Garchomp because of Cynthia, I can believe that. And you don't like Luxray because, like, it's like the only good electric type in Sinnoh. And it's memed about to be on every team. Yeah, I get it. So anyway, Polo should go back to being route-based. I mean, if you don't like the open world, that's fine. I mean, I kind of have a similar take. I think the open world kind of made Pokemon, I wouldn't say worse, just like different. Although I do like Legends Arceus, so the Ultra game is better than Base Sun and Moon. Bad take. I'm probably the only opinion that Ultra Sun and Moon is like a straight downgrade from Sun and Moon. I mean, I think it's meant to be more of a side grade to Sun and Moon, not actually better. And it did fix some things that Sun and Moon should have had, like, downloadable content for. Because, like, I think there should have been, like, fixes to Sun and Moon to like, for the SOS mechanic thing. Should have been a patch instead of, having to rely on the second game for it. But, yeah, I do not agree with that. I do agree that the Ultra Gates are a bit of a downgrade from Sun and Moon, to be honest. And no, I'm not saying this because I like Lusamine. Let's see. Let's show a hot take for the 2D base spread more than the 3D ones. That's why I actually like BDSP. But BDSP uses 3D models. What are you talking about? Honestly, like, I kind of agree with this take. I actually would prefer if Pokemon went back to 2D. Because imagine this, right? Generation 10 becomes a thing, and instead of doing, like, what normally do for the next, like, Nintendo console, instead of going on 3D, they're going to do something similar to Octopath Traveler did. Probably won't do exactly what Octopath did because Square Enix actually owns the trademark to that particular style, or I don't know if they own the name HD 2D, but I kind of want to see Pokemon in the style of Octopath Traveler, really just sprites, but like in a 3D world. But then again, like, doesn't like the DS games do something like that? But like more noticeably, like the 3D stuff. And for the storytelling style of Alola, like the cutscenes, they made the game feel more JRPG-ish. Honestly, I think Pokemon shouldn't be too JRPG-ish, like modern JRPG-ish. Because I feel like if you want Pokemon to be more like modern JRPG, let them do their own thing. Like, I don't want to, like... Pokemon shouldn't really be too heavily leading into modern JRPGs. Especially what Final Fantasy is doing nowadays, just being, you know, less what they are and what they want to be. Like Final Fantasy wants to be Kingdom Hearts so bad. Like, they can't just, because we already have Dragon Quest for like the traditional JRPG like combat and storytelling. Let's put Final Fantasy more like Kingdom Hearts. Let's try to make it an action-oriented thing. We want to make this as realistic as possible. Or that would make a Kingdom Hearts more like Final Fantasy. I don't know. I feel like Final Fantasy just stopped being Final Fantasy, like, once they got to 15. Like the story Sword and Shield. What story Sword and Shield? Gen 2 are extremely overhyped and a state of problems other Pokemon games don't have, including horrendous level curve, bad Pokemon placement. Yeah, bad Pokemon placement, yeah. This I get. Because the thing with Gen 2, like, is that there's so many Gen 1 Pokemon in Gen 2, like, and that you don't really see that many Gen 2 Pokemon early on. And that's kind of what Gen 3 did, what Movie Sapphire fixed, so they only had new Pokemon up to some point in the game, like from the beginning until some point a bit later. I think Gen 3 fixed that, but, like, I get why Gen 2 isn't very liked because of this. Like, they could have, like, because the problem is, like, they wanted to showcase the day and night cycle, so they put the regional bird like a nighttime exclusive. Well, not exclusive nighttime, because you can find it in the daytime when it's asleep, but that's not important. You get the idea. It always bothered me they moved Bite to a dark type because now you can bite rock Pokemon and have it do no amount of damage. But biting a rock Pokemon's gotta hurt. The damage from Bite's not physical, but emotional, traumatic one. Okay, this one's funny. I'll give her that. It's funny. What I love about Skeledirge is the name Skeledirge. It's a name of a ghost type Pokemon, not a fire starter. I mean, yes, yeah, the fire starter's a ghost type, but Skeledirge, it's what the name of a pure ghost type than a fire ghost starter. Skeledirge without berries eating sandwiches. You know, I haven't really thought about that. That's actually an interesting take. I like this. Like, instead of actual, like, you know, food items that were maybe questionable, maybe they could put, you know, actual berries. And then have berries be a lot more instrumental. Not just, oh, it's there, you could probably heal a Pokemon or whatever. Interesting. Black and White 2 felt like playing a game with no purpose. The rival was who was the rival again? Yeah, to be honest, like, and exists as a rival. He's the best character in the franchise. Like, Hugh, by comparison, is kind of there. His theme song's alright, but, like, oh, he's trying to be like Batman or something. You Team Plasma guys, you took my sister's Powerline, and you're gonna get it. It's just kind of lame. No, unfortunately, you still got Rosa, who's very popular for some reason. For one reason or another. As my typical response. Ash's dad's Arceus. That's a funny take. Okay, I'll give you that's a funny take. And now for the second reason why I want to make this video. That the national dex doesn't matter anymore. And it really doesn't. Because honestly, like, yes, I am more of a collector now than anything else. But since, like, Gen 7, like, the national dex stopped mattering. But with Gen 8 outright, like, removes of Pokemon, it makes it easier for people to complete the Pokedex. So I noticed a lot in r/Pokemon that, and I think some other in r/Pokemon Sword and Shield, that, like, a lot of people started completing their Pokedexes more, showing off their diplomas, and it got me thinking, you know what? Maybe the national doesn't really matter much, because it makes people want to complete the Pokedex, since there are fewer Pokemon. Like, imagine, like, having, like, trying to complete Pokedex with 905 Pokemon. It's crazy. And now 1,008 Pokemon. Having a diploma for that. I mean, yeah, it's a major flex, but, like, doing just a 400 you get is, like, easier to do. So it makes people want to, complete a Pokedex, because it's much easier to do so. Than having to go out of the way to go back to Gen 6, catch a Skiddo. Or, in this case, catch one of the elemental monkeys, the Batrash, Blitzel. And, well, Blitzel is like Oras. But, like, trying to do that, and then go all back to Gen 7. Get Pokemon Gen 7 they're still missing. Get, what was it? It was Minior. And, like, it was Minior, I think. Wasn't there another one? The point is, and then go to Gen 8, get the Pokemon that 9 and Scarlet and Violet from Gen 8, and then you go to Gen 9. It's kind of crazy, to be honest. But yeah, I think, that shit doesn't really matter anymore. I mean, it's cool to have, new Dex entries, but it really doesn't matter anymore, especially considering, like, some old Pokedexes like to reuse older Dex entries. I think Gen 4 and 5 are big examples of this, where they take old Pokemon and reuse, like, Dex entries. So at that point, like, why bother? Even if they're overrated. Kind of. But then again, Pikachu is too. Like, not all evolutions are overrated. I think Umbreon, Sylveon, what else? I think it's those two. They're rated just fine. I think they're actually really good too. Like, yeah, Sylveon, Umbreon, just those two are pretty rated alright. I think Flareon's also rated alright too. It's not that great, but it's still cute, so but I think the most overrated Pokemon is Vaporeon. You know why? Honestly, I like Vaporeon. Vaporeon's actually rated alright when, before that. But, after that, Vaporeon became a little too overrated. What was a good one? Baby Pokemon are severely underrated. They are underrated. Like, just because they're weak doesn't mean, like, they're just filler. Like, you could, especially considering, like, Elekid and Magby and Smoochum together, at least they, like, having a babies makes sense, because, like, it makes a theme with three of them having, counterpart each other, kind of like the legendary birds are. Unfortunately, Gen 4 messed it up by not giving Jinx an evolution. I think Riolu's fine as a baby Pokemon, considering the method you get it at. But Toxel is completely unnecessary. I feel like recent babies are unnecessary. They don't really need to exist. Like, why have Toxel? Why have, like, a normal, like, poison electric type of toxicity? You don't need a baby for that. Cranked out Gen 9 as fast as they did to ban for Pokemon Go. Like, the reason why I comment on this is because, like, you can say that for Gen 7. You can say that for Gen 8. For Gen 9, not so much, because, like, maybe they'll put Gen 9 Pokemon in Pokemon Go on the next Pokemon Day presentation. However, I think that they're not going to do that because they still haven't put the Gen 8 stars in Go yet. So, and they're really, like, slowing down, like, Gen 6 plus on Pokemon Go. They're really focusing on the first 5 gens. Heck, they're only just now starting to roll out Kecleon. Like, that's only recently. What even is that? And for Gen 4, they're still missing, like, Pokemon like Rotom. Hold on, I think I have a list for that. Give me a second. For Pokemon Go, in Gen 4, they're missing Rotom. For Gen 5, they're missing the Larvesta line. For Gen 6, they're missing Skiddo, Honedge, Hawlucha, Carbink, Honeyglance, and Zygarde. Oh, wait. I think they still don't have Zygarde. If I'm not mistaken. I did check, they still don't have Zygarde. And for Gen 7, they're just missing a lot. They're missing the Cutiefly, Wishiwashi, Mudbray, Bounsweet, Passimian, Sandygast, Pyukumuku, Type Null, Minior, Komata, Nimbikyu, Bruxus, Strampa, Delmise, Necrozma, and the Ultra Beasts. Ultra Beasts. And their respective, like, evolution lines I haven't mentioned. They're missing a lot. And for Gen, they're just missing everything. Like, they're missing everything except the few that are already out. Lack of level scaling and Scarlet Violet doesn't ruin the game. Heck, I don't like the Johto games. Like, I don't find it that bad. Oh, there's a good. Stark should not have been a special type. Yes! That is a great take. Dark should have been physical the entire time. I completely agree with that. Like, there was no reason why Dark should not have been a physical type. Because every single Dark type move, like, up until the physical special split, was, like, physical, like, in nature. Like, Bite, Crunch, what else was there? No, second was Gen 4. What else was a Dark type move? But whatever. Like, Bite and Crunch, they're, like, very much physical. So I don't know why. And the thing is, like push every Pokemon that are Dark type in Gens 1 to 3 have higher attack special attack. So I don't really get why it was special, to be honest. It's kind of weird. There have been like 3 or 4 good starters in the last 15 years. Okay, let me think about that for a second. I need to think about this one for a second. Okay, so for Gen 9, a little bit took like the starters that much. I think that's the base forms of them are actually the best part of them. Gen 8, same thing. Although I think I like Rillaboom, but not as much as the others. I like Rabbit. That's one. What else? In Gen 7, I do like Primarina and Brionne. That's 3. And I think Rowlet's fine, but I wouldn't consider a favorite. Gen 6, I do like all 3 of the Fennekin line. Although it's mostly Fennekin itself. Wait, the Fennekin goes along here. And whatever. That's 6. And Gen 5, I do like Snivy. I have a plus for Snivy. And I like Superior, to be honest, even though it's not great, but I do like it. And that's 8. Okay, that's a good take. That's a good take. Because remember, like, in Johto games, like, Slowpoke takes you the delicacy, but, like, it's been, like, heavily, like, the market for it has been overly taken by Team Rocket, and then suddenly you gotta eat Slowpoke tails as, like, Curry and Gen 8 just feels kind of wrong. Skelter is one of the worst starter designs since Primarina, even if I'm happy as a quadruped monster. Yeah. I mean, the first quadruped fire starter. How did it take till Gen 9 for that to happen? Actually, the stay gone now. Ash should have left a long time ago. Like, Ash should have left. Ash should have left in. Should Ash have left in Gen 4? No, I think it's fine. Ash should have left in Gen 5 for sure. Ash should have left in Gen 7. You can argue Ash should have left in Gen 6. And Ash should have left in Journeys. You may like get Gold though, the actual main character. Ash should have left a long time ago, to be honest. Heck, you can argue Ash should have left in after Johto. Because I feel like if Ash left in Johto, left after the end of Johto, and like have Hoenn have the start of the new protagonist, I think it would make a lot of sense, like thematically with the games. Reporting us cute. That's not a bad take. It's cute. This is the bad take. This is the bad take. Hold on. Let me do this. Hold on. The actual hot take. Anyway, every generation has bad Pokemon. Yep. I'm gonna say it. Every generation has bad Pokemon. Mainline Pokemon haven't been good since Black White 2, in my opinion. Arceus exists. ROM hacks are the only way to have fun. Now, I'm gonna say this is my hot take. I don't like ROM hacks for what they are. Because they try to make ROM hacks try to be as difficult as possible when they really shouldn't be. Like, I don't like difficult games. I'm not hot take. I don't like hard games. I mean, there's some hard games I do like. I like Monster Hunter. But, like, then I haven't played Monster Hunter for a long time, so. I feel like, I don't like ROM hacks. Like, mostly because of they're trying to be what they're not. They're trying to be difficult when they don't have to be. And then again, I don't really have any ROM hacks, but then again, it's because I don't like ROM hacks for what they are. I could play a ROM hack, but like, I wouldn't like it. I mean, that's the only ROM hack I actually like is Crystal Clear, but that's because you can start in Kanto in a Johto game. You can start with generational battle gimmicks. You know the battle gimmicks you should have kept a long time. Rotation battle. Like, I'm surprised I get triples like aren't used anymore, but I like rotation battle. I think they're a really fun new thing. And also, one thing I really think we should bring back is Wonder Launcher. We don't know what Wonder Launcher is. In the Unova games, there's a separate like battle mode where you can use items in battle, but like certain turns have passed and you can use certain items. I feel like that could have been a really good competitive mode, like alongside VGC. That'd be really interesting if they do like Wonder Launcher back. Oh, wait a minute! No, I have to say this. They're not over it. I actually do like Clodsire and Foy Coco. They're really like I really like them. I really like Clodsire. Nah. Hold on a sec. Nah. And I got nothing more to say. We're done here. This is a really good thing. It's a really long video. It's almost an hour long. Jeez. But anyway, that is all for this. See you guys later for next video, whatever that is.